my guest on the show is someone that I would say we have gone sort of way back more than a couple of years. Although baka she didn't know me pa then, we would compete against each other. And I'm so excited to
That's
have
nice.
here on the show, on the podcast, full-time performer, JANA Mahusay. Hey, JANA, thanks for your time. Okay ba? Okay
Hi,
ba intro?
Anton! Thank you so much for having me.
I've been wanting to get a dancer, to get like the perspective of a dancer, not just to talk about dance, but kasi your mindset and like how you deal with life differs based on like what your career is. So, for example, if someone like from my family is in finance, like they look at how do you deal with your priorities in a certain way. But then when it's dancer, I feel like it's a different certain way. So, to
Yeah.
start things off, how is your life like now as a dancer? With all the shit going on, we can't. There's no performances. There aren't any live
Yeah.
classes being held. So, like, how's it going now?
Well, obviously, like, you know this naman, like, it changed so much. 808 pa lang, di ba? Like,
Mm-mm.
me kasi I'm so used to, like, being in a studio or performing in front of, like, a live audience. Like, even in classes, I still perform for, like, my students. And, you know, I'm just used to so much human connection. And obviously, sobrang, I think the difficult part about everything and about being a dancer right now, sobrang na-cut yung
Yeah,
yung
that's true.
funds, di ba?
That's true.
Like,
No
especially
funds,
if
no
you like,
fun.
di ba? Like, especially if you're just like, if you were like a pure performer lang. Like, I'm so
Sorry,
lucky
like
na
a
I
what?
still
Like a
get to
what?
teach.
Performer?
Parang if you're a pure
Pure. Okay,
performer lang,
okay.
like, you just, di ba? Like, you don't teach, like, you just dance talaga and
Yeah.
stuff. That's why you're like, I'm super lucky na right now I'm still able to earn because of dancing. And I'm also super lucky because like super pumatok yung TikTok, di ba? So
Yeah.
parang now everybody wants to work with dancers. People want to have like dance crazes. People like brands want to hire dancers to
Have
like
you
make like
have
dance
you
crazes.
have you earned from your woes? Joke lang. Oh, from like TikTok pa lang. You mentioned TikTok. Have you gotten to like monetize it na? Or is it more of like because of TikTok, you sort of put your name out there, which and then got you noticed, or because of TikTok mismo na you got to earn na?
I don't think I'm actually like big sa TikTok because like I stopped using it early on, like especially because of like the BLM movement. Basta ang dami kasing issue. I get so scared like with all the security issues and stuff. So
Ah,
parang I
okay.
stopped using TikTok. But for me, it's like I think having TikTok around made everyone appreciate dancers
Yeah.
more, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
'Di ba? So parang yun, like I got so lucky rin na during this whole pandemic, all of this chaos, parang
Mm.
umangat rin yung following ko because I guess people want to be entertained rin. I don't know. And
Yeah.
yun nga, TikTok, baka people want to learn moves. Ewan ko
Yeah. And
talaga.
I
So,
think more than being entertained, I think, and also in my experience, like trying to notice like different people na in media or like if lots of people are following them, like what is it about them that make a lot of people want to watch their stuff and share their stuff? I think it's that they want to see someone who's like super confident in themselves and have something that they can relate to. I feel like
yeah.
as a dancer also, I would imagine if I were a girl dancer, like we both kind of were in the same world of hip hop street dancing, but then since I'm a guy and you're a girl, it's so different pa rin. Although we're going to the same competitions, parang I'm expected to dance a certain way. You're sort of expected to dance a certain way. But I'd imagine if I were a girl, I'd kind of look up to you na parang, oh my gosh, like she's so confident in herself. Like she's so aura.
Aw, thanks, Anton.
Okay, back to the TikTok though. What was your first impression with all of these, people who would never dance before? Now they're going on TikTok. Because I know a lot of people that would kind of just laugh at about it. Na parang, oh, dancer, sige nga, like handstand ka nga in a party. Tapos biglang, they're the same people who are learning all these dance trends and
Uh-huh.
learning how to do the wall. What is your first impression with that boom in TikTok usage in Manila at least?
Actually, for me, it super didn't bother me. I guess because like, parang, you know, lately, the times have been so dark. I'm sure you know that. Duh, we all know that. It was like our government, everything. So parang when I see people dancing, it's like, it makes me feel so good na parang they feel what we feel when we dance, di ba? Like, before
Yeah.
parang dance is such a like, you can't, parang, nobody's gonna post dancing shit if you're not a dancer, diba? But now it's like everybody has the confidence to dance, and like I super believe in the power of dancing and the power of like using your body to feel good. So parang for me, when I see kahit mga non-dancers or yung mga parang the people who used to tease us with dancing and parties, like parang, yes, isang ano naman dyan, windmill or whatever. Windmill. Mahirap. But like, the people who used to tease us a lot, and I see them like dancing now and trying to like achieve a TikTok career. Parang wala, for me it's like, okay, good for you if you're happy there, especially during this time. Sige.
Yeah. I look at it the same way how I don't know, are you a fan of the show Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Oh my god, yes, super.
So I love that show when it was, when we were still kids watching it on Nickelodeon on TV. And then now that it was on, I think recently it went on Netflix. So everybody started talking about it. I would think that parang, how come everybody's just noticing it now? I knew it was so good naman before pa. But then parang I caught myself thinking that way, and I thought, but you should be happy, like if more people get to experience the greatness that is Avatar. Just like in dancing, like I knew that dancing was, like when I first learned dancing, I was like, oh my god, like this creation of dance is so amazing. Like you can do so much stuff with it. So now that like a lot of people are getting in on it, I feel more, I'm more of like, yeah, join the party, the more the merrier. Parang ganon.
Well, we have such a huge advantage because we're actually like trained dancers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like no matter what happens, we trained in a studio, we trained with coaches and competed in competition. So parang I don't feel din naman like at all possessive or like threatened.
Yeah.
I guess parang wala, I don't feel a possessiveness towards dance, I guess. Parang for me, like the more the merrier and stuff like that.
That's the first time I heard of possessiveness. That's the
like
first time I heard of it. No, the word possessiveness. I get it.
Oh my god, is it a word?
I think it's a word. I'm gonna, do you know how if you just type a word, this is what I usually do, like, oh my gosh, this is a word. Ooh.
Alam ko it's a word. Ganyan ako possessive.
I believe it's a word. I think as long as you can communicate a message, even if it's not in the dictionary, it's still a word. Like, like I don't think Jebs is a real word, for example. But it's a word. I mean, you know what I mean when I say Jebs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. Super
Wait,
correct.
you were saying possessiveness. You don't feel possessiveness with dance?
Yeah, and parang I think the only thing I don't like about the whole TikTok blowing up is parang people feel so free to like bite my work. Diba, obviously, I'm a choreographer as well. Then parang random people will just tag me in their videos that they did my choreo. And I'm like, like I taught that in a class where people paid and then parang suddenly they're biting it. Like
how did they learn it though? Is it like they just see the dance video that you posted? Zero studio, and then they copied it and
feeling ko ganon because like there's nowhere else I posted it or diba? So parang feeling ko they just watched it over and over. I mean, gets ko rin naman yun if they have no means at all to like take my classes or you know, if I actually said, hey guys, you can learn this tutorial, learn my choreo, ganyan. Pero parang, I don't know, diba? That's an issue sa dance world, yung biters.
But
so that's what I don't like.
I think it's okay. I mean, as long as they're not posting it, saying that this is their choreo. I mean, they tagged you. I would just imagine that when we were high school kasi, I used to bite mga Kaba Modern, Quest Crew, diba?
Yeah, for sure.
And I know a lot of people that like yung mga request and then Royal Fam, like they got it to the dot talaga and they really memorized those stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe now you're the Kaba Modern na. You're the Quest Crew that people are biting. So ano, nasayang ako na is it like a negative emotion that fills you when you see a notification that someone did your dance na hindi mo tinuro sa kanila?
Not really. Parang for me, I feel very flattered, of course, that they'd want to learn that. But for me, like, I feel more like it's so unfair for the people who paid to learn this, like, directly from me
that makes sense.
And stuff like that. Diba? Parang, for me naman, I'd love to see so many people do my choreography. Like, of course, sino namang hindi, who wouldn't want that, diba? I think my main issue lang is if, people don't ask for permission or if they earn from it pa. Diba?
Okay. So it's happened? Has it happened?
No naman, because like
not that you know.
Every time not that I know of, but every time na people use it naman, most of the time they tag me.
Yeah.
So I'm not that like I'm not that mad because I know some people who are really like irked about it. I'm not that irked about it. It's just like,
Saktong lang. Saktong irked. That's another
yeah,
word. Irked, no one ever told me what the meaning of irked was, but I think like through the years of hearing people use it, I haven't even heard that many people use it. I just kind of picked up that I think irked means like you got kind of annoyed or
yeah, correct.
affected in a negative way.
Yeah,
It sounds like it's like an onomatopoeia that explains what it means. Oh wait, anyway, from
Onomatopoeia.
linguistics,
Tagal
let's go
na
back to dance. I want to go back to the beginning. Where did you first learn how to dance? Where did you get? Because you have that, I know, undeniable confidence. I think that if lots of people have skills, like, oh, this is the person who can do this, this is the person who can do this. Like, besides all your skills, I think that's the one that's like your, what do you call the thing in marketing? USP, universal selling proposition. It's like the confidence. Like that's the JANA MAHUSAY brand. So where did it all start? Let's go back to the beginning.
Thank you so much, Anton. That's very, very sweet of you. But I actually come from a family of dancers. Like my mom, my dad, my titas, my lola. Like my lola was in Bayanihan pa. Like we go way back.
Sorry, what's
talaga.
Bayanihan?
I think di rin ako sure. But I think
basta dancing thing siya eh. Sorry, I don't know.
They were like in the old times. They were like the national dance team.
Was it street hip hop dancing also?
Hindi, gags. Lola ko yun. But that's like super
Wasn't there
folk
hip hop
dancing.
also? Okay.
Yeah, like
Alright,
that
alright.
long ago, super legit, like folk dancing, like basta a long time ago. And then yun, both my parents were professional dancers. But then, like you would expect from knowing that I'd be confident right away from fetus pa lang.
Yeah.
But like I wasn't. I think just having that behind my head, na parang, oh, I come from a family of dancers, it actually made me feel super insecure. Na parang I have to be at their level and stuff like that. And then parang I grew up pa as like a very overweight kid. Like siguro if you saw me,
I've seen pictures, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think we can laugh at it now because look at you, diba? Fitness instructor na ganun. But yeah, sorry, go on.
Well, so yun, when I grew up, I always felt like the ugly duckling. It's my friends pa, like they're super pretty, super like slender and super talented. So I think recently na lang yung confidence that came to me.
How recent would you say is recent?
Like yesterday.
Oh.
But like I would say
I got to interview you today, not last week. Di ka pa confident. High school.
Today,
So,
probably high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when we knew each other na, dun pa lang siya like sobrang nag-boom. Like, obviously, I've known that I've always loved to dance. Pero like, it was only in high school talaga that I felt na every time I was dancing, I felt pinaka me, if that makes sense. Like
I get that.
Right? It's like every time I'm dancing, like I feel most alive and like I feel most connected to like weirdly, even if you know naman the way I dance, diba? Like I feel most connected to like my creator and the universe and just that's why like I think that's what makes me so confident. It's like knowing that I have something in me that nobody else will ever have. Does that make sense? I'm not saying like what I get it. Than everybody else.
It's very unique. Like you can only dance the way you can dance. Although it might look the same as people you've learned from or you dance with. Parang that one connection you have, like while you're that experience, that phenomenon of dancing and performing. Like it's not something that you can just describe while looking at it. It's iba yung feeling niya eh.
It's like yung hugot ko, like it's how much I love it talaga. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's how much like nothing. I don't know if this sounds super stupid, but I feel like when I'm dancing, it's like nothing matters. Like lahat na ng negativity that I feel, that I've seen, it's just like nothing matters. Like I'm sure you felt that.
Yeah.
Like at least
That's
once
why I wouldn't think it's stupid. And also, going back to linguistics, I think the moment someone says, this is gonna sound so stupid, I feel like that is when a person's very honest. Like that's the most raw you can tell that the person is. Kasi like hiya siya na normally people do. But then I totally get it. I would always say that dancing was my first love and it was where I found my identity. You know, in grade school. Again, so
Correct.
different. I feel like it's so different if you're growing up as a girl compared to as a guy in grade school. Because I just thought like, what is my thing? Like my worry was because there are people now. Oh, this is the basketball guy. Oh, this is the leader.
Uh,
Parang I was just a guy eh. And then when I was grade 6, I started dancing. I was one of the first ones in my batch to to go upside down and stuff. Um,
yeah.
and then it became si Anton yung dancer. And then I feel like that really just boosted my love for dancing. Parang, oh hey, I finally know what I do. So parang I'm really gonna
Yeah.
ban it. I'm really gonna ban it.
Super correct. Yeah. So yeah, that's how I think like my confidence is there. Baka with you, it's like you know na wala kang identity before. And now that you have that identity, it's like you bring it in all of your
Yeah.
dancing, you bring it everywhere. And parang that's how I felt. Like I was so insecure about my body. I was so insecure about like, what the frick? I come from a family of dancers and I'm just like a chubby chicken running around. Like, diba? So parang, ang dami kong hugot. Like, I feel like I know what I'm talking about. Like, when I'm performing, when I'm teaching my students. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just here for like pagpa-sexy lang. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I know how empowering it is to be dancing. Diba?
Yes, and you are. I think you empower a lot of people through your dance. Wait, how many siblings do you have? I only know there's a little Mahu that she took one of her classes yata. Kasi nagsabay yata kami once.
Yeah, well, I have si Lil Mahu and my other baby brother. So,
Si
dalawa
Lil
silang
Mahu.
Lils.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're 3.
Liller. Yeah, we're
You're
three.
the
I'm the
panganay.
ate. Yeah.
Oh. That's another thing, your name, Mahusay. Do you feel like it played a role in like just from like how I know you, I feel like you're the type of person who like wants to be the best. Like, do you think that
You're super correct.
since your name's Mahusay, it's like, yeah, I gotta live up to the name eh. If it was like, diba, mabaho or no, never mind. Sorry. So did Mahusay play a part?
Actually, I don't think it did. Like, I actually didn't like my name before. Because people are
Oh.
always pressuring me na parang, mahusay ka ba talaga? Especially like teachers and motherfucking like grade
Oh,
school
I can
nga.
imagine.
Diba? They're always like, mahusay ka ba? Kung,
Yeah.
parang kung mahusay ka, dapat kaya mo din.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
I didn't think of it as anything.
I love
Now
those
na lang I
jokes.
super appreciate it.
I
I
have a
hate those jokes kaya.
no, I love it because I'm not the one receiving it. But then just like
Yeah.
observing it. I have a cousin, he married someone whose last name was Artista. So you can just imagine like sa ano raw, when they're gonna fly, the guys was, oh, may artista pala dito eh. But those type of jokes. But then going back to the grade school, I wanna understand like what is your experience? Like, how did the performer we know now like come to be? I don't know how to ask this in a polite way, but do you sometimes think that you were parang nagpapasalamat ka ba na you were overweight? That's why you became this content. Kasi if you were the prettiest, parang you wouldn't have to
Wala
prove
kang push eh,
yourself.
no?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with being like overweight. I mean, like
Mhm.
there are so many people now. There's so many women now. You see them like absolutely like slaying the dance floor, diba? Even if
Wait, when
with
you
their
say
size, but
women, are you talking about women that are big?
yeah, like who are
Ah,
more
okay.
plump, diba?
Okay.
Parang, syempre before at the time, I just wasn't strong-minded. You know, like I was super insecure about it, and a lot. Oh my god, I had bullies pa. Punyeta mo, bullies yan. Like in high school, I super had bullies. Na
You were
parang I was too
bullied in high
fat daw.
school?
Yeah,
When you
because
were
I was too
already
fat
like
to
the performer,
dance.
JANA MAHUSAY?
No, like I was in first year high school.
Ah,
Tapos parang
okay.
I was newly terps pa lang nun.
Oh,
And like
that's
my
why.
biggest dream was to be in the competing team. The Skechers
Yeah.
is like
It's life.
it's like it's like better than HHI. Diba?
Skechers is the one thing for dances that it's so amazing. Like, if you hear Skechers, like, wow, it's so good, but you're never gonna think of the shoes. Or that's just me. Do you
Yeah,
like
yeah.
their shoes?
Now that I'm much older, I love their sandals. Sobrang
Oh,
tita,
there
but I
you
love their
go.
walking.
That's the age right there.
Yeah. I love the
Sandals.
walking sandals, Anton.
Oh,
You gotta hit him up. I
no
super love their
thanks.
walking
No
sandals,
thanks.
but not their rubber shoes.
Yeah, not the one that they were advertising with the
Yeah.
dance shoes. That's so wait. Can I just point out there was really no connect that Skechers is a dance competition, and then so you would like be like, okay, so if I dance, I should wear Skechers shoes, but then I feel like it's like a
Wala.
consensus like in the Metro Manila dance scene of Skechers. we all knew that Skechers, like, you only buy Skechers because they require you to wear Skechers.
Correct.
My God.
Correct. But
Did you?
now I would gladly buy my walking slippers in
Okay.
Skechers.
Okay, going back. Sorry, I keep going off track. Going back to so you were insecure when you were first year. How did you like break out of that show? Was there like a break, or was it like I don't know? Did you have like a Mr. Miyagi moment of like, oh, ganito pala siya?
I think like the first moment that awakened in me was like yun nga when I was getting bullied about it. It wasn't like severe bullying naman, but like there's just these girls who would say na parang I'm not good enough because like
Are these
I'm
girls
fat
dancers?
dumb. They're not dancers, they're just
Oh,
random losers.
okay.
Random losers. But they're
Yeah,
just random people. They were just random people and I was so stupid back then. I really let it get to me. But then that
it
super
irked you.
fueled
It irked
me.
you.
It irked me,
Yes.
yeah. So parang I guess that super fueled me. Like I was like, why would somebody say that? Right? Like it just made me want to prove myself more. And then I have this super this is like my switch. Like how do you call
Okay.
it? I guess the Mr. Miyagi moment. So this was in Skechers. I was in third year high school.
Okay. Do you remember
And
what your
then
costume
parang
was? Because I'm pretty sure I've watched that one. Eh.
it was yung naka-black kami. It's where we won.
Um, you won a lot of times then. Eh. So, were you wearing a cap?
Skechers
Ito ba yung
7.
parang what's that, parang beige yung pants nyo?
Yes, correct.
Okay,
Yun.
okay. Is this the
Yeah, then
favorite? Is
parang
this the speaker to the hammer drone thing?
yeah,
Oh, nope. I've heard that.
it's the one
Shout out
with
to Ken
Naughty
Kagawara.
Girl.
Okay, anyway, sorry. Go on. So that's Skechers.
Yeah, anyway, that's Skechers. Parang nung eliminations namin, I just wasn't, I don't know. So, okay, that's Skechers. Our coach back then was Coach MJ. And then parang si Coach kasi, he loves to give like mga solos. Like,
Yes, he
you'll be the
does.
star of this spot. So parang he was supposed to give me like a solo to this Beyonce song.
Mm.
And then he eventually gave it to somebody else. And
Ooh.
that made me
Are you gonna
so
name
freaking
her?
sad. No.
Okay. Panoorin nyo na lang kung sino yung
Oh,
naka-Beyonce
panorin nyo na lang.
highlight.
And then I got so freaking sad about it. And so like I messaged Dora. You guys know, everybody knows Dora
Everybody
now.
knows it.
But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, syempre now he's more known
But
for his
before he was
political
Dora, he
views.
was Dora.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
he was
already
always
a
Dora.
Dora.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I messaged him way back then and I was telling him like, what's kulang? Like, what's wrong? And then he just said like, basta parang hindi mo lang talaga, like you're dancing, you dance well, pero parang hindi mo lang talaga feel anything when I watch you. Parang gumagano siya. And I was
Sabi
like,
niya.
yeah,
Wow.
like Dora's super honest. I super love him. And then he told me this one piece of advice I never ever forgot. It's kind of, I wouldn't say controversial, but I guess it's kind of adult.
Mm.
High school pa lang kami nito and then he told me like, well, if you're dancing something sexy, obviously you have to think about sex or something like that.
That's right.
And I was like, for some reason, that super clicked sa akin na parang, you're so correct. Like, whatever I'm dancing, I have to have some hugot out of that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when I heard that from him, parang from there, everything changed. Like, suddenly, every
Oh.
single dance that I danced, like, I had so much feelings. I put so much feelings
Yes.
tuloy into my dancing. I think it was from that moment on na sobrang nag-boost yung, I guess sobrang nag-change yung understanding ko with performing.
Yeah. How did
If
you
that
do
makes
that
sense.
though? That makes sense. How did you do that though? Because you studied in an all-girls school. I'm guessing like it's a thing. Like sex is bad. Like we're kind of taught na until you're married, sex is bad. Like anything that has to do with sex, it's bad. Diba? So how do you channel that? Like how do you? Kasi if it's a happy song, you think of happy memories. If it's a sad dance, diba, you'll think of sad memories. But then if it's like sex, and if wala ka pang like wala kang experience,
Experience.
pugat from, diba? How do you like come up with it?
Well, I guess, syempre, at that point, syempre, teenagers na tayo. And that was like the latter part of being a teenager na,
Oo.
di ba?
Mm-mm.
And then parang, I guess kasi in terms of sexuality and sensuality and everything, I've always been drawn to that. And I never thought it was a bad thing. I don't know why.
Oh.
Like, ever since I was young, like, even if yun nga, Catholic school, super like conservative, um, surrounded by conservative people, I just never thought that sensuality was a bad thing. Like,
Oh,
because
that's good.
I was so drawn to it ever since. I was so drawn to like women, super like feeling themselves, like beautiful women, like hardly wearing anything. I was just so like, I don't know. There's just something about it that's super like, parang ganun ako,
Mm-mm.
parang I want to be like that ever since like I was younger. So parang I guess at that age, ano yan, Skechers, sobrang wala pa tayong alam.
Uh-uh.
Like, I guess at that age, I was drawing inspiration from those things that I've seen already, or
Okay.
those women that I've looked up to, those women that I've seen already. Diba? I mean, like, I guess you could say, pa-acting-acting na lang muna tayo at
Yeah.
that age. So I guess now, na I'm like, what, 25, and I practically live with my boyfriend, it's like,
Mm.
ang mas madami na akong pwedeng i-express, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. I know
So
a lot
yeah,
of
parang,
I know a lot of people. I've gotten to dance with a lot of people, girls for example, that they're very like shy and just like you wouldn't expect it. But then when they go on stage, like they really like just something switches, and then the second that like the song is done or parang the segment is done, whatever, like they just go back to. But they're good. I'm not saying that they're bad, but then I feel like the thing that separates you from being very good. Let's just focus on the sexual sensual dancing. To separate you from being very good at that and like it's natural na parang effortless na. I think it has to come from a place na you're comfortable to think about it, to discuss it, to parang talk
yeah,
about it.
super like, I'm super comfortable. Like, obviously, everyone in my Instagram can see like how comfortable I am like
Yeah,
expressing it. Because like for me, it's human nature, diba? Like, why would I be ashamed of it? Like,
that's right.
hello, like we all have feelings na ganyan na parang like you feel super sexy or you feel like super alam mo na. We all have that. That's
Alam mo
natural. Like,
na. Yeah, yeah.
alam mo na yan.
Yeah. Sabay prayer
Like,
mo sa balance.
right? Like, I'm sure you know that, Anton, na it's super human nature. So, even if, kunyari, may mga pa-baby girls dyan na sobrang, never na, like, never ako nafe-feel na parang sexy. Like,
Oo,
that's BS. Like, we're
that's
all
right.
human beings. Everybody feels that. And parang for me, when a woman, like, truly embraces that side of her, it's like she's, like, completely unstoppable. And that's honestly how I feel. When I'm in that state, when I'm dancing and I'm super feeling myself, I feel so like sexual and confident. I
Yeah.
super truly feel unstoppable. And that's what I just want to advocate to like women. That's why I show it. Like that's why I dance that way because I want women to feel that it's fine. Like even if
Yeah.
I'm not the sexiest person, na sobrang flat chan, big boobs, big butt, like
Mm.
I'm confident. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's what every woman should feel.
And it's not just the I think that it's not just the sexual aspect of it. Like when you are very confident in your sexuality and like you present it on stage, I think I would just imagine the best part about it isn't that it's about sex. It's that parang you kind of surpass that. So now you're in a state na parang you're very confident in yourself. Like wala kang pake, wala na sa isip mo parang oh how do people think I look like
Oh my god, you're
parang
super
ganon.
correct. Yeah. What's funny about the way I dance and stuff like that? Parang I guess a lot of people assume na parang I'm the type of person to like hoe it up, sleep around, or
Mhm.
like super be like a party girl or whatever. But I'm completely the opposite talaga. Like I've never kissed anyone who wasn't my partner. I've never done anything sexual with anybody if kung hindi ko partner. Like I've never
Yeah.
momoled in a club.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the type like I sleep at like 10 p.m. every night and I'm super duper spiritual and I'm not
That makes
a lot
sense.
of people think I'm a certain kind of person with the way I dance. And I completely understand why,
Mhm.
but I'm not that person. It's just a side of me na parang
Yeah.
well, everybody sees it when I perform, but it's a side of me that I truly only express with my partner.
And on
Diba?
stage.
And on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Going back to high school, going back to the high school dancing and the topic of highlights. That's something I noticed with when I would watch terpsichore dances. Sometimes I think like, baka it'd be nice if like a bunch of us got highlights too. But then I always thought, I would always like remind myself and beat myself up na parang it's not about the highlights. Like you dance because you want to dance. I know, at least I know I do. Want some spotlight. You wanna have some of those papogi moments. Like when you watch the dance, there is one part that you're sort of looking forward to more than the other parts. Like I'm not gonna care. Like, oh, it's the popping segment. Parang wala namang pake.
Yeah.
Di ko naman thing yun eh. But then for you
Yeah.
guys in high school, do you feel like if you weren't given any highlights, as in you're always just not even like directly behind, like let's say you're always like a third, second line, like if your parents watch, they'd see you the man, but no one would ever like, yeah, oh shit, it's Jana.
Remember, yeah,
Do you
yeah,
think
yeah.
that it would have like impeded your growth as a dancer and performer?
I think me kasi you're super correct about this thing about me. I want and I have to be the best. Like whatever I'm doing, it's like I feel like I'm letting myself down if I don't feel like I'm doing my best and if I'm not the best at it. Diba? So parang I feel like if I was there, even if I was giving everything of me and I was like still there, I think it might have
Yeah.
impeded my growth a bit just because knowing me,
Yeah.
knowing na parang alam kong kaya ko naman na andyan ako eh, di ba?
Yeah.
So
Or
yeah, I
do you
think it could have in some way.
would you compare yourself though with your teammates? Kasi I would, there are times na parang, syempre, like if coach is about to give a highlight, sana ako yun. But then when they give it to someone, I'm like, yeah, that person's better than me. Like he can do that. But then when it comes to someone, I really honestly can't think of a specific name. But like if there's someone who I feel like I think I'm as good as this person, or parang we can do this style well, I'll feel kind of hurt. Na parang, like well, I
Yeah.
feel like I kind of deserved it as well,
Yeah.
but I didn't get over. Did you ever have those? Like I know that also watching you perform through the years, more often than not, like I'm pretty sure there is no dance piece I've watched where you're part of and there was no moment. Like there was no Jana moment. Did you ever feel,
Oh,
was there ever a moment na parang, like, but ito yung nabigyan ng,
I always feel that. Like no matter
really?
even Besh in high school, kahit Trump pa yan, I'm like, why not me? Like, I don't know. It's just now na lang siguro that I've matured. I'm super happy for like my teammates. Obviously, like you know
Yeah.
King Ilian.
Oh, that dude is
Obviously,
wild.
if it's his routine, I'm like, Besh, sa'yo
Yeah.
na yan. Let's do it. Like I'm more supportive now, but like as a high schooler talaga, I was super like
Yeah.
every single segment. I'm like, that should have been me. That should have been me.
Man, and I've heard a lot of drama with like guys would parang kind of be annoyed at it na oh di ako bigyan ng highlight whatever. But I feel like with girls it's more, is it more, I'm also I guess talking with Ed, I'm sure you know about his like dancing days as a guy. Is it more intense like the I think the bullying, the psychological effect of bullying for girls is worse than guys because guys are just gonna hit each other more often than not than parang okay na. But with girls, it's like they won't mind you. Like they're gonna like kind of go
like
away
more
for you or
catty.
not. Yeah, but I feel like that has the bigger like effects in the brain and the psyche of a kid. So when it comes to like high school dance team, do you remember any like okay, this person is pissed she didn't get a highlight, or this person's gonna get mad at me, for example, kasi ako na naman, oh my gosh, there's a story.
Yeah. I guess I felt that, but then I was just very lucky to be teammates with my teammates because I don't know, I'm very lucky to be in a very healthy environment. Everywhere I go, I feel like my teammates are supportive and will not. But obviously I felt that na parang, alam mo, you just feel it, the
Yeah,
tension.
yeah.
But
Of the
then we
of the
never
one
like,
of the one blocked directly behind you.
yeah, yeah, like I feel the tension often. Like sometimes until now I still feel it, but like it's not like we're gonna tear each other down. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
we're still in the same team. We still have the same goals for the team and for each other, diba? So parang no big issue about it.
Okay.
I've never
Okay.
felt a big issue about it. Yung tension lang na parang that
That's
should be
right.
me.
I've probably given. I'm pretty sure I've given some of that tension off. But then I think
Yeah,
with
same.
mine kasi, I knew that I had other talents in like I knew I had other talents in life. So parang I'd always be like, man, kung hindi ako, like I didn't feel good about training that day. ako lang naman dito sa semi-honor section. Like, I would do that in
Yeah.
my head so that I would be like, it's okay. It's okay, you didn't get it. But now I want to talk about I want to talk about the process of improving as a dancer. Because from my experience, and I think a lot of what's seen on media, we see how basketball players improve. You know that you have to go to the gym to like work your muscles, and then you have to watch a lot of tape, and like you have to understand the game, and then you have to keep playing. But when it comes to
Mm.
dancers, I feel like there's more of um being born a natural dancer plays a bigger role. So also me in my high school experience, which I kind of feel sad about, is that I feel like I kind of prioritized na, oh, I should just look for the dances that parang naturally my body's better in, or I'll stick to things that parang magaling na ako instead of
Mm.
like trying to work. So what was your mindset when it comes to like improving as a dancer? The balance of, kasi I'm pretty sure you have some natural moves na there are people who don't really have natural moves, then they get good. But then yours has, like, no doubt has some halong natural. You just kind of
Mhm.
born with it. It's in the blood. How did you like sort of balance that when it comes to your process in improving as a dancer?
You know, Anton, I think we're super alike in that sense. Na parang whatever I'm naturally drawn to, whatever I'm naturally good at, that's kind of where I go.
Yeah.
Like for a long time, that's how I was. And it wasn't until I joined A team na I super had to push myself. Like obviously using naman all the steps in A team na sobrang you have to be
I don't
physically
nga eh.
strong.
I feel like A team, I only see every like 0.8 moves because that's how fast, and like
It's so
it's so
fast.
intense. It's like, oh, I didn't see that. There's a 1-8 I missed because it was just
Yeah, it's
so
like,
fast.
diba? It's like you can't even breathe when you're watching.
Mas
Diba?
like you're
It's like,
dancing it.
yeah, super. So parang obviously, like coming into A team, I was super just like alagwa, super softy, sexy, whatever. But then A team, like it's really what pushed me. Hello, like I literally have to learn all of those King Ilian dances, all of
Yeah.
those crumping and all. So parang feeling ko, it wasn't like necessarily my decision na parang, ooh, I have to learn all of these styles because I love it.
You were
It
kind
was
of put
like
in
I
the
had
system.
to.
You
Yeah,
were in that
I
system that,
was put in a
yeah.
system
Oh, that's
and
good.
I had to learn it. But then parang it super did me so good. Like I think it's super like all of the technique I've learned through the years from all of these different styles, all of these different dancers, it made me the dancer that I am today, 'di ba? Na parang I'm not just yung parang kung ibato mo ako somewhere, I won't just be able to do all my sexy whatever kineme
Yeah.
do. Like, I can hit hard if you want me to. I could, like, express all the emotions that you want me to, diba? And I think that's why I think it's important to really try to push yourself, even if you don't really want to.
Yeah.
Like, voila, it doesn't really necessarily have to be naman you're immersed in a team or whatever. You could just watch other people dance and super observe, diba? I don't know. I guess it's gonna come. It's gonna come with you, naman. If you really wanna be the best, you're kind of gonna push yourself to do
You're gonna
it. You're
find
gonna push
ways.
yourself to do everything. Yeah, because like parang if you have that sobrang strong desire to be the best, it's like you can't watch anyone else be above you. I don't know if that sounds sobrang
Yeah.
sobrang overly competitive or overly ano. But that I think that's what helped me through the years. Na I knew I had to be the best, so I have to work harder than everyone else in here, diba? Like I know I'm never gonna dance as well as like King in his style, obviously, but I'm gonna push myself. I'm gonna at least try my best, diba?
You're gonna be
So
the
yun,
best.
like
You're gonna be the best Jana in that style possible.
yeah,
But you're not gonna be
yeah.
him, obviously, because
But
that's,
I'm never gonna be
yeah.
him. Same way as he's never gonna be me, diba?
There you go. That's where you get the confidence. That's you
Yeah,
need that. You need that this is my thing for you to be okay with not being that good in a lot of other things, and like not
yeah.
being the best in this. You know that you're the best in what you do. But
Yeah.
what
Although I
was,
super agree with you with the ano, with like having other things. You
yeah.
know, like ikaw, like you're saying you're in an honors section naman. So
Oh
parang,
wait, I will. Can I just gonna make it clear? I was one of the like lowest, like as in average. Like there were only 4 or 3 of us in the class of 41 that didn't get in UP. I was one of them,
yeah.
but I was in the section. So the end of the day, I'll be in the honor
Yeah.
section.
Oh my God, you know in St. Paul, we used to have this thing na parang you're called the pull-out students. It's like you're But anyway, it's like
Man.
you're part of the honor section, but when it's time for like math and science, they pull you out to be in the average
Mm.
people. I was one of the pull-out
Wait, it's
students. Like parang,
baliktad. You're smart in everything else except math and science?
hindi, parang, so parang the honor section, they're advanced in like math, science, and all
Yeah.
of that
Yeah.
stuff. They're the ones who are advanced, that honor section. But there are like five or a few
Shoot.
people who are just normal people.
Oh.
So
Just
when it's time
average
for math and
IQ.
science, yeah, when it's
Man.
time for math and science, you're like out of the room. I was
Yes.
one of those pull-out students na parang,
Shoot.
I'm part of the honor
But you're
section,
part of the honors. Mm-hmm.
but like I'm not intellectually there with them.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
only physically there with them.
Yes,
La lang, share lang.
I would probably be in that if Ateneo had. Ateneo kasi what they did is they have an honor section and then they have an honor on steroids. So the honor section, we would have people pulled out to go to an even more advanced for science and math.
What the frick?
The section is called S and X yata. So example, I was N, so 4N. But then during math time, 4X. So like all the smart ass like the all the calculators of our batch are gonna be in one section in X.
Uh-huh.
So I think that it was good for me though that even if I was kagagat, like the fact that I knew like, oh, I'm in advanced math. Parang tagigid ako, parang okay pa rin. Kasi
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
Just happy to be here. Just happy to be here. I wouldn't have imagined, like high school me wouldn't have imagined that I would get to like do this, like have a podcast and talk to you. Kasi from you would be in the advanced pull out of high school dance teams, like of high school dance members. The fact that you went to Worlds, diba? Something I want to ask about pa later. Me, I was always just someone I've never stepped on the Skechers stage, you know, when they announce any of the winners. I've competed in Skechers 2 years. I did 2 years in high school.
Uh-huh.
I joined Worlds once, but only got to the national. So I never stepped on the H. Those are the sexiest competitions. HHI
Yeah.
and Skechers. Would you say that those are easily the highlights of your high school and yeah, you were still college when you went to
Yeah,
HHI
to
and when you guys won.
HHI,
Would you say
yeah.
those are like super highlights talaga when you go at the timeline of Jana's life?
You know, honestly, I think a lot of people will disagree with me, but I feel like Skechers is better than HHI.
Really? I get
I
it
don't know
though.
why. I just
I kind of get it.
feeling ko lang it's because like it's like a local scene. Then like, syempre pag high school, it's like soiree with the boys' schools.
Yeah.
So parang, di ba? It's like just a huge soiree and then like all
Oh my
your
gosh,
friends
and
and
you,
family.
I remember you dated ano. This is I'm not I
Yes.
wasn't really friends with you. I wasn't friends with this guy too, but
Yeah.
some guy from Air Force. I don't want to say his name.
Yeah.
You guys are hitting the turbulence. Okay, and you were saying
Yeah. Oh my
he's known
God,
as that guy.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I feel like that Skechers talaga was like golden. I love that season of our lives. It's a super fun. I love it
Which
so
year
much.
did you like can you join Skechers? How many times you joined Skechers in high school?
I joined since I was a freshie until
did
senior
4.
year.
What are
Yeah.
the places? Do you remember the places? I'm pretty sure you know the places of each.
Yeah, in first year we didn't place at all.
So 4th.
Tapos yeah, I think we were like 5th or 6th.
No, everybody who didn't place top 3 was 4th.
Was
I'm gonna
4th.
keep thinking all my Skechers were 4th. I don't know if we
Yeah.
probably got 7th, but no one's gonna remember,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna say 4th.
4th. Okay, same, me too. And
So
then
no place,
second
and
year, yeah, nung second year, 3rd.
okay.
Then when I was in 3rd year, that was when we were champions.
And in 4th
Then
year,
4th, we were 2nd.
who won? Did Air Force win that year?
Yeah, Air Force One. I was so mad. But then you guys were first nung Elims nun, remember?
Oh my God! Can I just
We were
say,
so upset.
that
We were like,
year that it's kind of toxic, but it's nice that like a lot of people got along with like hating who was on top. Parang especially on the night of Skechers. Whenever we lost, I swear, whenever we lost, whoever the team captain was just gonna go storm the backstage like they want to see the results, ganyan ganyan. And I don't know. I always was kind of led to believe that whenever we lost, it was because parang the judges didn't understand it. It wasn't really like there were some of them, okay, this part was kind of bad, there were mistakes here, but it's never like, oh no, our process was wrong. Like we should have approached this a different way. It was really like, di kasi like kami pa rin yung panago. I never thought that, although in the back of my head I knew that I understand like, yeah, these guys are good. Like Air Force was good. You guys were good. But it was that collective hate of whoever was first. I felt like united different
The
dancers a lot of
nation.
times. Or the moment they said na, you know what, si Coach Arda said that induction of place. I was like, okay na kami. Because there's that one
Yeah, yeah.
person who said that we deserved it. But I think we didn't, there are a lot of times we didn't deserve to win. And
You guys were
I get
super good in
thank
elims though,
you.
remember? I think they would sila Boju and everybody. I was
Oh
like,
my
holy
God.
shit, they're killing it. I remember watching it. I was like,
Yeah. That
it's
was it.
over.
That was our peak. That was our peak in Skechers na. I was like, wala na eh. What happened? Moving on from high school.
From high
Um,
school.
you danced, you had the mindset of a student. You were learning, you were listening to instructions, and now you're a coach, you're a teacher, you're a mentor. I was watching one of your vlogs, and people call you Coach Jana. Coach Jana, Coach Ed. How do you feel different now? Do you, when you approach dancing, do you have another mind? Do you have like a new mindset of like how to teach? Now you're here more of like, it's like downward now, instead of like I have to like, I get it, you're always gonna have to learn, but instead of like, oh, what should I do, coach? It's like you're kind of, more often than not, you're the one telling people,
Telling people.
like how to
Yeah.
dance, for example. Did that mindset
Yes.
change?
I think it did because like before, obviously my high school mindset, like I have to be the star, I have to be the best, blah 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 blah. And actually for a long time, that's what's been stopping me Rin from teaching. It's like, why would I want someone else to dance my choreography? Like that's just
Mm-hmm.
weird. Like parang for me before. Pero now, like I feel like the more I teach, the more I learn for some reason. And parang I think ever since I started teaching, dance became so much more of a spiritual thing for me. It's like
Oh,
helping people feel like, yeah, I know, right?
okay.
Especially with the way pa I dance, no, sobrang
Yeah,
A. But like,
the
yeah,
spiritual.
yeah, I mean, like, aside from the moves, like, you've gone to my class almost,
Yeah,
like, more often than not, I don't like to focus on the steps.
yeah.
Parang I focus more on, like, your internal world. Like, parang your confidence
Mm,
or how empowered you feel and stuff like that. Parang that's what I really want to bring out with people because like they can attend all of these classes, who'll teach them technical stuff, who'll teach them like
yeah.
amazing choreography.
Which is
But
still
I'm here
important.
to,
Like you
which is
need to
also
know how to
important.
move your feet also. Yeah.
Siyempre naman, like,
Yeah.
naging dancer ka pa, umaura ka lang dyan, di ba?
Yeah.
But like, I feel like my job, like with my style, it's like to make people feel good about themselves, di ba?
Yeah.
So parang I think that's what super switched sa akin. Instead of me being the star, whatever, I want my students to feel how I feel when I
Yeah.
dance.
That's a crucial thing. The abstract part of dancing and performing, like what comes from inside. We were taught this.
Correct.
One our coach in high school, Coach Sernan, he would teach us kasi it was that age na umuuso yung mga Brian Puspos, yung mga dancing, but like the feet aren't moving that much. So he was telling us na his analogy was like, if you look in the olden days, like what are the paintings that like stood the test of time? You would say mga Sistine Chapel, or the ones with the details talaga. But then kasi later on, there's this new term, modern art, where you just splash paint on a canvas. Bigla lang, that's art na. Like you still have to go down to the basics, the details. I think that's what there are dancers that kind of just jump to the YouTube kaagad, and they thought na once you can do the same moves that Brian Puspos is doing, you're a dancer na talaga. Like you
Magaling ka
are
na.
fundamentally a good dancer. But that's something that's something that you can't really copy off videos. I would say the way you describe how you teach your dances, how you conduct your classes. Is that why I think the one I took kasi it was like a live version of a Beyonce
That was
song.
like bow down, right? And
Yeah,
shame.
it was a live. Yeah, it was a live. Is that why you choose live? Kasi I don't know, parang it's more raw instead of like a song na filtered na in all the layers and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like, parang I feel like when we dance to like live music, parang feeling mo ikaw mismo si Beyonce. It's like you
Mm-hmm.
feel like you're there with her. Diba? It's so raw. I completely agree with you. And I also agree with you with the fact na what separates good dancers to great dancers is that great dancers have the ability to make you feel something. Kunyari, but my two dancers, they're both equally good technically, but somebody else is gonna like super stand out
Stand
just
out,
because
yeah.
you're like drawn to that person, like their aura or whatever they're feeling, diba? So that's what I want to teach to my students, how to become that dancer,
Yeah.
diba?
That
Because anybody can learn how to dance and know the technical stuff, which is super important. Kasi without it, naging dancer ka pa, diba?
yeah.
Like, all the foundations, technical. But for me kasi, personally, that's how you can differentiate it. Or siguro a great performer. Parang a good performer to a great one. So that's what
Yeah.
I want to teach my students.
Yeah, yeah, yes. And I would say, yeah, from my
Diba?
experience in taking it, I've only taken one of your, I think I've only taken your like choreo class once, but then I've learned from you na, 808, dance fitness, ganun. You really
Yeah.
feel it eh. And also to the guys who are listening to this, you kind of need that also. Like I never thought it was always kind of like funny like if I'm gonna dance something Beyonce ganun. But then
Yeah.
from my experience of just listening to Beyonce songs and like empowering women, she's empowering women. Like I'm not the target market yet. I still get affected. I still feel that parang like I gotta fuck with this. Like I gotta wanna get this. So
Diba?
mas lalo na in dancing na parang although
Yeah.
it's nowhere like there's like I feel like there's like a tiny percent that I feel na empowered, but when I see myself in the mirror, I know that I'm not, it's nowhere near how it's supposed to look like. But then just getting
Mhm.
yourself to that step na parang you're trying it out and dancing, even if it's so awkward and shit. I feel like that's something really good that's brought out with how you teach and how you dance, like just how you do it.
Thanks, Anton. Means a lot.
Now I want to talk about from dancing, still kind of connected to dancing.
Okay.
You
No
launched
problem.
how do I say this? You launched a line, a clothing. Is it a clothing line or like um is it just like a specific merch or is it something that parang you're going to I don't know, would you say that it is already another business?
I wouldn't say yet like it's super a full-blown clothing line, but I would say na I'd love to grow it like eventually in the future. Pero parang it's just pieces that I love to wear personally. Na parang I'd love to share with other people also. And parang a lot of people always ask me like, where do I get this? Where do I get that? Like,
Ah,
the stuff that I wear. So parang for me, it was so much better na, you know what? I'll just make stuff for you guys, 'di ba? Pagawa tayo. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's
okay.
a clothing line
Wait,
yet.
the name
Yeah.
it's called Hot Mama, right? Am I right?
That bra is called Hot
Sorry.
Mama
Hot Mama is a specific item in
item.
your
Yeah, correct.
what have you've sold pants and the bra.
Yeah,
Pagang, no?
just joggers and the bra. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, what's the name of the joggers are called fudge. Ano
They're
ba?
just called Queen's Court
Queen's
joggers.
Court
Because
joggers.
that's the name of my class. Queen's Court.
Oh, but you don't have like an umbrella brand yet that I don't know, you can
Not
probably sell
yet.
different stuff. Is it in the are you planning to?
I want to. I super want to. Like, I've been conceptualizing and thinking about all these things, manifesting it, but parang for right now, it just doesn't feel like the right time to launch anything like that. So parang small pieces muna.
Like you're testing out the market first.
Yeah, I'm testing out the waters. It's
And I
so
think
far
it's
super
good.
good.
Grabe naman. I
Yeah.
mean, it's all pre-order. That's para siyang hype na baka soon you can have mga raffle to join. Parang, you know how yung mga sneaker drops have those
Oo,
na
tama.
you join a raffle, not to win it, but you join a raffle so that you can pay them to get the product. Like they
Yeah.
just make it limited. But then yours is pre-order because hindi ka pa sure like if you should produce na and then sell it.
Yeah. And parang for me, like, it's just more sustainable na rin at this point. Na parang, why will I produce like super daming stuff, di ba?
Yeah.
Parang, I don't know. For me, it's just more sustainable. Like, whoever wants, let's go pre-order.
Yeah. I think it's important though and it's nice that you're doing that kasi it's filling the void of what I think of what Skechers should have done. Like Skechers was already ingrained in hip hop culture here, in dance. Sorry, not just hip hop. I'm more of the dance, street dancing culture. But right
Oh,
now, I can just think of creative athlete, for example, who like they really want to cater to the dancers. I don't know. I feel like also while there's no one doing it that I know of, that market, you have a niche market na of, what through your dance pa lang, and then you can totally like it's gonna make sense for you to make merch from that. That's gonna embody also what you stand for and what your dance is like in
correct,
clothing.
correct,
Cha-ching!
correct.
Now, last few things I want to talk about. Which I'm really enjoying this, by the way, and I'm learning so much. I feel like
Me too.
the high school dancer, the grade school dancer. I wish he knew all these stuff. Like he learned and heard all these perspectives. Kasi I never had a Dora who told me na medyo
Oh,
support kasi yung ginagawa mo dito eh. I always looked for things that were going to make me feel good about myself. Na, no, it's good naman eh. No, I'm good naman. Like, I don't know why. Also because I don't really have a stomach for criticism. Even if I wanna, like, I know that you need it. I know that you should
I
logically
so
have
get you. Yeah,
criticism. But then when it comes, it's like, I'm hurt.
that is so Sagittarius of you.
Ooh, are you Sagitt? Did we talk about this na? Ever?
Before in 808, like I was like, "Oh, you're such a Sag," and you were like,
How
"How'd
did
you
you
know?"
know? Wait, so wait, now, sorry. Can you explain it a little more? Are you
Well, I
ano?
guess
Are you like a how do you say it? Like you like reading the stars and stuff?
I
No.
love astrology. Like love,
Ooh.
love, love
Wait, okay.
astrology.
Can I ask more about that muna now? I didn't
Okay,
I,
go.
I didn't I didn't put it in my plan like stuff I'm gonna talk about astrology. But now that we're here, I'm really curious and I don't know when I'm gonna get the chance to talk about this. Um why is it that why do you study it? Why do you read
Me
about it?
personally, I love astrology because it just helps me relate to people better. Like parang if I know their sign, I know how I'm gonna like I don't know, like I know how they'll respond to
Yeah.
something. If that
So
makes sense.
you
Like
think that there's that it's you think that it's real, that it's true, that
it's
you
so
have
freaking
this
real.
really okay. Go on. I
You
really
should
want my
totally look
mind
into it.
I want my mind to be changed because right now I think it's ano lang eh. It's like reading your you know how they're gonna say stuff like, oh, this is your personality. Parang Facebook test na parang, oh yeah, I'm driven. I'm ano. Oh, and
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it when people disrespect me. Parang malamang, like every, rational person would kind of feel that way. Okay, so
Yes.
please continue. Why?
But I don't know because parang I think naman like there's like an umbrella kasi parang there are fire signs, air signs, water signs, earth
Oh.
signs. So parang ikaw, you're a fire sign.
How do you, what, okay, which means?
Which so fire signs are Sagittarius people,
Okay.
Aries people, and the Leos. And
Okay.
usually when you're under the fire signs, you are you really have an ego talaga
Okay.
that you like to protect. So that's why when you said na parang, oh, I don't take criticism well, I just wanna be like praised. I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, that is so
But I
you. Like
want to. I want to be able to take, I want to make it clear. I want to be able to take criticism well. I just don't know, like, what's gonna make me, like, my skin hasn't gotten tougher. You think na parang, di ba, if you keep getting hit, eventually that's gonna
yes.
get stronger. It hasn't. Like, it's as much. Ah,
Well, what
okay,
I
go
learned
on.
about fire signs naman, if you want to criticize a fire sign, you have to super give them lots and lots of compliments muna and then say the
Hassle.
criticism. Yeah.
Hassle. That's
Yeah,
so
because like
tiring.
that's the only way they'd listen. And for me it's so true. Like with all the fire signs I've been with,
Hmm.
it's so true. Like that's the
Sorry,
only
when
way
you
they
say
listen.
been with, like, you just interacted or?
Like friends. I have a
Ah,
lot
okay,
of
okay,
fire
okay.
sign friends. Because
Ed,
I
your
feel like
boyfriend Ed is what's his
he's
sign?
a water sign. He's a
Chill, no?
Cancer.
Chill, no?
Yeah, chill, emotional, super
Doesn't
soft.
confront masyado?
Does not confront at
At
all.
all. Okay.
Alam mo yan.
Yeah.
That's why I love astrology because
Mhm.
like it just helps me like get along with people more. Parang relate to them more and stuff like that. Yan, kunyari, kung mga fire signs, very fast-paced, very ganyan. I'm not gonna be all dramatic with you guys because you can't take drama. Like, you hate
Okay.
that.
There's
These
no TV
signs.
show or like movie that sort of like opened your eyes to this world?
No.
So it's
Like ever
just
since I was a
reading lang.
kid, I was like, yeah, I love being online and searching like traits of ganyan.
Okay.
Kunyari may crush ako, cancer siya, kunwari, traits of a cancer, how to make a cancer like me.
Oh,
Ganyan.
that's smart. That is smart. There's this
Right?
thing.
When I was a kid.
There's this thing now that my mom and my brother do. It's called Gallup Strength Finder. They're called Gallup Strength Coaches. So Gallup is like I'm not sure, like an organization that trains people because everybody has 30 strengths. It's just that after you take this test, they're gonna be organized in a certain way of like which are your top strengths. And I know
Ooh, that's cool.
my number one strength is called woo, which means winning others over, which is why I have an obsession with like making people like me, making sure na
Oh
I
my God,
present
that's so
myself in a way.
true.
And then second one, I forgot the other three, but the second one is communicator. So loves to like communicate, ganon. I feel like that is just it's like a mid corporate way of what astrology is. It might
Yeah,
that
exactly.
statement might
Yeah.
offend some people, especially those who like really devote their lives. But I think that's it. It's knowing who you are so that you know how to like play to your strengths. You know na parang why do you react this certain way to these situations. And also, how to relate with
Exactly.
other people. Yun, ang dami ko na sinabi. Sorry, going back to astrology.
But yeah, I agree. I super agree that like the studies like that in astrology, it's all like kind of the same thing. It just makes you, parang it just inspires you to be a better person and to, what are the weaknesses that you want to turn into strengths or
Mm-hmm.
to understand yourself and other people better. Like it's all the same thing for me. But it just so happens na astrology is what clicked sa akin.
Yeah. For a Sagittarius. So wait, that means you were born in like December-ish, diba? Your birthday
Yeah.
is
My birthday's in Feb 12. So I'm
what?
an Aquarius.
I thought you
Yeah.
oh, you just know that I'm a Sagittarius.
I just know. Because you
Oh
told me, like,
shoot.
yeah, you were like, I was like, Anton, when's your birthday? Then you told me. So I
Ah,
searched it.
okay. I thought it was, hey, you're a Sagittarius. What? How did you know? I thought it was like that. I thought that I told you
No,
my
you
birthday
told me
pala. Oh,
your
okay.
birthday, and then I searched it, and I was like, Anton's a
Okay.
Sag.
Wait, so what do you know about the Sagittarius? What can you could I ask for advice? Like how am I gonna how do I deal with life? Like are there mga top things na you should avoid this? You should focus on this. May mga ganun ba that you know of?
Well, most of the Sagittarians in my life, I feel like they can be very spiritual. I don't know if you are.
Okay, I'm trying recently. Like
Yeah, like
I've been
parang you're
thinking of
drawn to
buying
that
those.
sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking of buying the incense thing. But then I want to buy it because I want to buy it, not because like hype na parang oh
Nakikiuso.
yeah, diba? Like, I gotta wait for the hype to die down in my head first. Okay, what
Yeah.
else?
And parang for me, like, Sagittarius people, they're very, like, um, they super love life. You know what I mean? Parang
Yes.
more often than not, they're very like optimistic people. They love adventure. They hate
Oh.
drama. Parang very driven. It's like when you have a goal, you just like you have to like get there. You're not the type to slack off. You're not the type to be lazy and stuff like that.
Okay.
Are
Your last
you?
part. Well, I would get lazy a lot of times, but there are times I just think that maybe it's not tamad, maybe it's like just not the right mindset or not the right. There are times when I get into work, like when I get passionate about it, like it's either I go banat all in or kung di ko masyado trip, sobrang parang petics ako about it. Kasi I feel like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
wasting my time on something that could have, brought
Gets.
me more
And
happiness.
Sagittarius people are super like impatient.
Okay, there you
Are
go.
you?
Yeah. I feel like this example, what just happened. I haven't bought into the philosophy of astrology.
Astrology, yeah.
Astronomy, ano
Astronomy.
ba? Astronauts. Wait down. Before that, that's another thing. The way you talk when you have this thing where you're gonna let's say yun, astronomy, then you're gonna say astronomy. People laugh at it now because like Mimia does it, diba? Vice Ganda, they do it. But you've done it before pa eh. Like before I heard my friends do it. Like you there's that it's a certain not genre. It's a certain layer of comedy na I feel like that it's part of your like your charm. Kasi it doesn't have to be something funny. It's just that you're saying it. That's why it's funny. Like you
In a
can say
funny
some
way.
it's like you can say na I'm gonna blow out my I'm gonna blow out my candle. Candle, like you just saying that. I'm gonna laugh if you say it, even if that doesn't, like, the logic of it, di naman siya nakakatawa eh. Ba't ako natatawa?
Yeah.
Is it natural lang for you? Where did that come from?
I think so. I have no idea. Like, I guess like ever since I was a kid, I'm just. Oh my god, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
It's raining there.
Yeah, no, it's not. Pero by thunder.
Ooh. Okay. Well, I heard. I
Okay,
heard it.
anyway.
Not here though. I only heard it through your device.
Through me, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I feel like that's always been super natural. Like I'm the type kasi na I'm super like no filter. I can't mask whatever I'm feeling. Like I'm super kenkoy. Like you know me. Like I don't take myself or anyone seriously. Diba? I'm always
Except
like
Ed.
Except Ed.
There you go. Damn, that plant.
Diba? I'm super like kapal mukha. I'm super walang hiya. So I guess like ganon.
Wait, one last thing about this. There's a lot of linguistics question. I don't know if I'm using the word right, linguistics. I watched ano kasi. Do you know Jumanji? Do you know the new Jumanji? The one that's in a Kevin?
Yeah.
Basta the word linguistics was used there, so I feel like that's why I keep using it. But there's another thing. You also sing your words. Like it's part of your. I would say I have a tone. Like I probably hit like this range. Like that's where my. Like if my voice goes up or if my voice goes down. It's a small range. But you have like, you either go up or down. Like while you're teaching, that's one experience I have while teaching. You're gonna count 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. But you're gonna do some. I didn't do it well. But you have something. So again, going back to Mimia, before she was she. Before Mimia was singing Mimia's name, diba? You were already singing words eh. Like I heard that shit years ago. Where did you get that from?
I have no idea, honestly.
Oh,
it's
natural.
just like I guess I'm just makulit talaga as a person. I don't know. You're so observant, ah.
I also feel like since I've known you for a long time, but I haven't talked to you. Like this is our longest conversation.
Yeah,
ever.
for sure.
Like we probably just had 2 10-minute conversations, not even 5-minute conversations in the past. So I feel like there's this persona of who's Jana, but now's the only time like I get to like chip off the pieces and be what? Who is this? Who is this person? So thank you. Wait, can I say thank you though for satisfying my curiosity and being very game to answer all my questions. I feel like
of course. I love being here. I love talking to you. You really are a good communicator.
I thought you were gonna be. I love people asking about me and like knowing more about me.
I love questions about me.
The performer in you. Going back to I kind of want to make sure also that there is like value adding thing that's gonna come out of this. That's why my next question is. Now looking at like having your experience as a dancer in the Metro Manila dance community lang, what do you think the dance community now should do so that it can produce world-class dancers that can take it seriously? Because there are some of you who are like me. Honestly, I would have loved to become a professional dancer. And so I'm thankful that I found hosting because hosting is, although it's not as safe and secure a job as others, I feel like there's more security there when it comes to dancing. What do you think should change, or what has been going well that you think that our system can produce those type of dance? It's gonna be a normal thing na, I'm a dancer. Now, kasi if you say, I'm a dancer, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I would think, is this person making money? Or does he have rich parents? Parang ganon.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing at least that we're hitting well in our dance community is like all of these choreographers and dancers now. Like for example, me or like the instructors at Zero, diba? And Groove Central as well. It's like there are dancers who are starting to really take their career seriously. I don't know, I think the number one thing that needs to change, but somehow parang okay naman siya sa community natin now, is parang people really taking it seriously and people, especially the dancers, the people who love to dance mismo, for them to actually believe that there's a career here.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
Because if you believe that there's a career here and you really push for it, malamang there will be. And if you continue to like keep creating opportunities not only for yourself but for other people, posting your work, your best work out there, syempre, people are gonna pay attention to you, diba? Like, before naman yung mga Instagram people, it's like, you're never gonna see a dancer there, diba?
Oo, di masyado.
Like, diba, parang okay, all of these like content creators, they're all like mga fashion, ganyan-ganyan. But then now you can see like more dancers and stuff. Like,
artists.
Like, yeah, artists, like people can actually hear us now. They can see us through social media and through the quality content we create, diba? So
That's
parang
right.
feeling ko, we should just like keep going with like the excellent quality and like and the dedication for it. But I do feel like, yun nga, one thing that could change is like just the belief that it could be a career. Diba?
Right.
Just that judgment towards it. Kasi parang, obviously, can you imagine me if I didn't believe in myself enough na parang, you know what, I'm gonna push for this career. Parang, wala, it's not gonna go anywhere if I didn't post all of these like videos and stuff. Then I wouldn't have the opportunities that I have. I wouldn't be able to work with the brands that I have or the fitness studios that I have, diba? So I think it'll come from us as individuals to really push for it.
Do you feel pressured though that you sort of have to break the mold? Kasi going to an industry I'm very familiar with, finance. You have seen there are so many generations of, if you go finance, like this is the road you're gonna take. You go up these levels. But now as a dancer, like dancing is a skill. Dancing, we know, like you can earn from that. It's an art form, but there aren't that many, like there's no path that you're gonna take. Like if you dance now, a lot of people go fitness. If you're lucky, diba, you can like get gigs abroad, I guess. But diba, what are the chances of that happening? Or brands can notice you. That's how you can earn. Do you feel pressure that you sort of have to figure things out on your own, which in then is gonna sort of like, you know, light the path for the future generations of dancers?
Not really. I super don't feel that like pressure on my shoulders that parang, oh, I'm gonna lead the way. Like parang for me, it's more exciting. It's like, there's literally no one masyado na I can look up to in terms of that now. So parang, you know, you can build your own. Parang that's how I see it. Then build your own path. There's nobody like, I'm just like going with it, having fun with it, living my best life, as they say, diba? So parang, I don't know, if people want to follow whatever I'm doing, then good. If it works for you, then like it's working for me, then super good. But then if you don't, kung di mo ko trip as a person, I don't really give a fuck. Like, okay. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't feel the pressure masyado. Should I?
I don't think it's good that you don't feel pressure, and I think pressure isn't the right word. Because when I try to compare it to like what I'm going through, like let's say with podcasting, there are a lot of people who podcast in the Philippines, but I feel like it's not okay. Obviously, it's not nearly as much of an industry as vlogging. Like if ever, it might be in a few years, but that podcasting is really gonna be a thing. But I don't really have like idols masyado in the Philippines to look at. Na, okay, I want to make this podcast big. It has to kind of follow the path this podcast took. Like I feel lost, not pressured, more of lost and scared. Kasi like I'm passionate about this. I really enjoy doing this, and I think that it's gonna, you know, it can do some good in society. But at the same time, it's also very possible that nothing's gonna happen because it hasn't been done before. So like, there's no historical data to tell me that it's gonna be a success if I do the right things, if I make the right moves.
Although parang I see in your social media that your podcast is like, well, all your talks, like yung
Quarantuhan. Oh, thank you. You know that.
Yeah, diba? Like parang I feel like it's steadily growing naman. So if like you've been doing this for months, kunwari, and you have still like 0 followers or something, and like 0 views, I think that's where you can be a little bit alarmed. Pero parang your thing is,
0
diba?
views. Meaning pati yung pamilya ko, di nila pinanood.
Diba? Parang, kuya, ano na guys? Parang walang support. But yeah, I feel like yours is like super steadily growing. So I don't think you have anything to worry about. And that's the beauty of it. Like no one's gonna compare you to anybody. You have your own thing going on. Diba?
There you go.
So when you explode, or when the time comes that you explode na, the people will follow you. Diba? And I love that. I love that. That's awesome.
Hopefully. Last question. What would you say? What's your message? What's your advice to all the little girls who just like you before were insecure about themselves, they weren't confident, and then they found dance na parang, ooh, parang I can kind of find my identity here. What would be your message to all those little girls out there? And boys, anyone
Oh,
actually in general.
I'm gonna cry. Well, I guess what my message would be is whoever's watching this, whoever little girl is watching this, whatever you're feeling, whatever it is that you do, and every time that you're doing it, you feel so alive, you feel so aligned to your purpose, you just feel good, you just feel empowered. For me, just continue doing that. Like whatever anybody's telling you, may it be your family, your friends, your haters, your bullies, they're not you. They don't know what's going on inside of your mind. They don't know what you're feeling. And I truly, truly believe that if you're drawn to something, if a certain something makes you feel incredibly good, then there's a reason for that. Obviously, our universe, the creator, he planted something in you and you're supposed to pursue that. You're supposed to go after that with everything that you have. So I want you guys to listen to yourselves. Don't listen to anybody because only you know what it is that you really, really want to do. Only you know what you're feeling. Only you know your purpose. So just listen to yourselves and drown out all the noise.
I want to add lang one thing. So in that, I feel like it's actually okay to kind of value and prioritize your emotions because a lot of times we're led to believe na you gotta do what's logical, you gotta do what's practical. But then in this sense, you're sort of chasing. Although that's not the only thing, that's not the only factor. You're sort of chasing an
Yeah.
emotion, eh. Like if I didn't chase the emotion of like what I feel when I talk to someone, when I talk to a crowd, or when I perform in front of people, there, it's that magic. You can describe it as magic. People describe it
It's magic,
as what you
correct.
said,
Yeah.
na parang it's when you're fully yourself, nothing matters, or when you're connected to the creator, whatever the creator might be. It's that
Yeah.
feeling. It's that feeling you have to chase. And I feel like that sort of helps answer the question na, what am I supposed to be doing? Diba? What is my purpose? Kumbaga.
Correct. You're super correct. Yeah.
Thanks, ma'am.
It's really that magic. It's really that magic. You're so right. Like,
Thank
but
you.
obviously, I'm not saying like be stupid. Like, if you feel magic with a special someone, and that
Yeah.
special someone is treating you like shit, and you're toxic for each other, obviously, don't chase that magic.
Yeah.
But like, you're gonna feel it talaga. You're gonna know it. Like you, I'm sure you felt that, na, Anton.
Yeah, it's
Like,
magic, but don't be stupid. Like, you can
that
find
don't be
magic.
stupid.
Like, what if, oh, I find magic, like cyberbullying people, like tweeting bad shit about people. I mean, yeah, it's magic plus common sense. I feel like that is that's the shit you need
Yeah,
to figure
correct.
out life.
Correct.
Magic and common sense.
Correct.
All right.
But that's just what has helped me in like this short journey that I've had. It's really like chasing the magic and really listening to yourself, listening to all the messages in the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so spiritual. Listening to those messages.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what has helped me and I hope that it'll click with someone, whoever
And
is watching.
speaking of listening, thank you very much for listening to and indulging all my questions and all my kakulitan. For people who want to continue listening to you and they wanna know about your merch, they wanna see your dances, what we've been talking about. Where can they follow you? Where can they check you out online?
So you can follow me on Instagram, jana.mahusay, and on YouTube, I'm not so active there, but it's just like a joint account with my boyfriend, and it's Ed and Jana. So that's it. That's where you can find me.
And TikTok.
And TikTok, but I don't really use TikTok anymore, so.
We'll see. There might be a return. All right. So thank you very much, Jana, for your time and for your wisdom joining me in this podcast.
Thank you so much, Anton. I had the best time talking to you. You're the best to talk to.